One Republican senator has stood in the way of some 300 military promotions for months over abortion policy in the service.
That has Pentagon officials fired up and looking for a way out of the impasse.
A military logjam at the hands of one Republican lawmaker. For months, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville has held up hundreds of military promotions as he protests the Pentagon's policy of paying for travel when service members go out of state to get an abortion.
As of Monday, there are now 319 nominations that are impacted.
In a Washington Post op-ed, secretaries from the Navy, Air Force, and Army called Tuberville's hold unfair to these military leaders and their families, adding it's a threat to national security.
I'm forgiving for someone who's born in a communist country. I would have never imagined that actually one of our own senators would actually be aiding and abetting communist and other autocratic regimes around the world. This is having a real negative impact and will continue to have a real negative impact on our combat readiness. And that's what the American people truly need to understand.
Our Jake Tapper had an historic interview with the heads of three military services yesterday, and they said that Tuberville's actions are aiding communist and autocratic regimes. How?
Well, these actions, by holding up our nominees that are, as you said, standard and apolitical, we're sending a message not only to our allies, but our adversaries as well. In a place like the U.S. military where orderly transitions are exactly how we thrive and how we transfer from one position to another, it is important to have our Senate-confirmed leaders in these positions.
I'm not holding up any nominations from being approved. They can bring them one at a time to the floor. They have chosen not to do that. I've also talked to some of the nominees that's come through my office through their posture hearings. They have already changed jobs. They're already doing the job. It's just they've got interim on their name. There's no threat to readiness. The people that we need to be really worried about are her colonels and majors and sergeants and privates. They're the people that get ready to fight wars. The people up here in the Pentagon, I don't know what they do every day, but they're more of giving advice. And, it's just a surprise to me that, these are all, number one, they're Joe Biden civilian appointees, these secretaries of the Air Force, the Navy, the Army. And it disappoints me, some of the language that they use, because I am a United States Senator. I would never say anything like that about them in the newspaper. This should not be played out in the newspaper. If you need to visit with me, call me or come see me. They know where I'm at, and they have not done that. I've not talked to any of them about this. It just goes to show you this is all propaganda that's been carried on by the Secretary of Defense and the President of the United States, saying y'all got to start putting pressure on this senator. I didn't think I'd come up here and ever be associated with terrorism and communism as a United States Senator. No, that's wrong. This is coming from the talking heads of the White House.
Some Republicans are ramping up the pressure on Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, saying he should act.
Senator Schumer has every right to bring these nominations to the floor of the Senate. I don't know why he's not doing it.
Schumer is pointing his finger at the GOP.
The bottom line is this is a problem created by Republicans, and it's up to them to solve it.
Senate Republicans are pushing for at least one vote to replace Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. His term ends in October, but it's unclear if Democrats will budge.
That's about as Washington, D.C. as it gets.